Hello, everybody, and welcome into a very special edition of Ken Stout Live Special Doug Edition. And I'm about 33 minutes late, so I can't say it is straight up and down on the top of the hour because it's not. I have to verify I have audio. I have audio. I am using Zoom. Darren is with me, but I've got it cropped down to where it's just me. And I did bring the clocks into OBS, and this is actually Windows 11, my new build, and I thought we would get right into it. So the first thing that's going to happen is John Williams, Darren Gilholm, Rick Lakes. Hello, Rick. Hello, Darren. Darren was first, Rick was second, and John Williams. Must be a Doug thing. Well, we could actually revert back to here. And if you look real close, there's a little Doug up there inside the little D. Yeah, Doug D, get it? Haha. All right, let's see what happens here. If I make me disappear, so obviously this is just tongue in cheek. This is just poking fun at our good friend Doug Betts, who is up at the cabin enjoying some. Well, not really. He's not really enjoying any downtime because he keeps getting bombarded. So I thought what I would do in light of this being the filling in for the Bettster, the Dougster, I would do well, first things first, let's go check email. Well, I don't have any emails to check. This is my updates. I did find the one that said Google Cloud, important, 30 days left on my account. I cannot find that I have an account anywhere. I kind of went through this pretty thoroughly yesterday. Now, I obviously need to get rid of the sleeping comment because we don't need that there. Let's make that go away. And that's not the best as far as what happens if I were to. Is that getting better or worse? It seems to be getting better, maybe. I don't know. But I can't move that, can I? No, I cannot. Oh, that's on this account. 2 mice, 2 keyboards. Yeah, see, even there it says activate your full account, so I'm not sure. And then obviously the other thing I was going to do is I have nothing. I have an email from Sonny Helzer and I were conversing on something, and then Convana working on a logo. And in the typical Doug tradition, I thought I would go over my channel comments. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anybody can tell me who that's from, I'll be impressed. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm not near behind as what I used to be behind. So, One Fish, we'll go ahead and give him a thumbs up and a heart. Actually, we're just going to give him a heart and see if it goes away. Tony Wallow, hello, Tony, good to see you. Darren Gilholm. Alice says, thank you for the birthday wishes. You're quite welcome. Go ahead and give her a heart. Darren again. Life in North Carolina. I find him to be very interesting whenever he does something, which is rare. I watch it. Pretty interesting. He's an older gentleman, and he's from North Carolina, and he is a very. Now that looks terrible, actually. Let's see if I can. Well, that looks even worse. So I got to get with Doug and get some lessons on how he does things to make this so it's nice and clear and crisp and everything else. I am so turning into a Filipino, not Filipina, Filipino, Pinoy. Go ahead and give him a heart, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the old glad you enjoyed it. I like the canned response, they're easier on my head. Grace, however you say it, watching here, enjoyed your live stream, thank you. I'm going to give her the heart and the thank you for so much, and that probably will be, no, there's still more down here to go. Oh, no, that is it. So that should take care of those. If I were to go up here and refresh this, that should go back to having absolutely nothing there. And it doesn't because I run this filter of I haven't responded yet. So that's it. That's the Doug Show in 8 minutes. I don't have any rabbit holes or squirrel holes to go down. Well, actually, I do. I'm sorry. I didn't necessarily speak the entire truth on that Because, as we all know, I built this machine for one purpose and one purpose only, and that purpose is DaVinci Resolve. This is about the only thing I'm really working on this machine, because it's pretty simple. And I'm going to see if it's transparent. We're going to come up here to Effects. We're going to go to Generators. I'm going to grab a 4-color gradient just to be different. Bring it over here. Shrink this down to there. Close this to get the size. Bring this down. If we hit play, it should spin. Or does it? No, this one doesn't spin. I haven't keyframed this out yet. This is my first attempt at this on this machine, and I've got a long ways to go on this. There's some things on here that I don't like, even myself, I don't like it. There's no split here in the K, and there's not enough distance between the S's, the curves on the S's. So I got to work on that. And then it looks like, is it this one that I need to zoom out? No, it looks like it might be the gradient itself. I don't think I can change the setting. I guess I can change the setting. No, that just changes the zoom transform. I don't like these jagged little edges. I'm not sure why they're showing up. This is something new. I don't think I've seen them on the other machine. So this is kind of interesting how this all comes about. And I'm looking for open infusion. There's got to be a, oh, there it is. That logo is all of these things right here. And as I've previously discussed, I made this logo. I brought it into SVG, which I believe I may have actually saved it. I did. I saved it on here because I plan on using it a lot. And you just drag in your PNG in this case. I guess you can do it from JPEG. You know what? I'll have to do some experimentation and see if a JPEG works as well. I've just been using PNG, but you just drag it in here and it'll pop up with a menu over here. And then you let it do its thing. Very quick. It's free. So that's a couple things I like about it. Anyway, then you bring it into DaVinci and you get all this stuff here. If we bring this into viewer number 1, that whole logo then gets broken down as an SVG, and you can import or use things you want. So this is what it looks like. And then when you come over here and do all of this stuff over here, then it converts and looks like that when it's done. Little things have got to be done. Again, like I said, this one turned out all right to a point. There's things on it that I see that I don't like. The lines aren't where I want them. Number one, I don't want them to be so squished. But this is just me learning how to do it. So kind of not a Doug thing. I know Doug doesn't deal in DaVinci Resolve, but in order to have some Doug rabbit hole, squirrel hole issues, I thought I would show you guys some DaVinci real quick. As a matter of fact, this machine, I think it's got 5 projects on it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects that I've just been messing around. As we all know, this machine doesn't have a graphics card yet. That's in the workings for next month, so to speak. And we will see. If it gets here, it gets here. If it don't, it don't. Kind of how I look at it. So I think I'll wrap it up. Chat's rather slow today. I guess I failed in that Doug Betts. I can't think of the word I want. Imitation. Ouch! I just banged my knee on my desk. That was real smart. So I really wish there were things in here. I mean, I know I can change this screen here. I'm sure there's other ways I can do it as well. You'll notice the clocks are there. They're miniaturized. That was an experiment. I wanted to see what the clocks would look like, miniaturized or shrunken down, if you will. And oddly enough, they don't look all that bad. I was pretty happy with how they turned out. Did I? No, I have not. I've not. The answer to that, John, is no. Let me see what I'm looking for here. I think it's this one right there. We go. I'm back. Sean Gallagher is the driving force behind my new PC. The original plan was Sean was going to finance the whole thing, and things happened. I got the case, I got the cooler, I got the little thing, and I got like 4 things from him, and then there was a stumbling block. Well, Prime Days came along, and I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and I'll get what's needed, which would be the motherboard, the memory, the CPU. Or no, he sent me the memory. So the motherboard and CPU, and the power. No, he sent me the power supply, the case, the cooler, and that little plate that the processor sits on. So long story short, he ran into some issues this month, and we discussed it. He and I talked about it. We're good to go. September is the target date, and like I said, we'll let it go from there. Now I do have a Doug issue that is really kind of cool. That my Zoom has lost one of my cameras. I feel a little bit like Rick this morning in that last night I had 2 cameras. Now I have 1 camera, and that's the camera that's off to on the 22-inch monitor far away. I wanted to switch this to the monitor right in front of me. I can't do it. When I go to Zoom and I go to find a new camera, I can't do it. So I thought, well, maybe it's in OBS somewhere. So I start going through OBS, and I went into the different OBS settings. Now the bad thing is when I'm streaming, if I switch, then you're going to see what I do. Now there is a way to get around that. I can go to OBS, I can open up studio mode, and then you're only going to see what is actually going out on the airs. I see something totally different. I see what is previewed, which is this one, and I transition it, and you guys see what I see in the transition. And then if I come over here and switch it to Daily DaVinci, and then transfer it, now you guys, and I could go in there now, and I believe I can make my changes. Let's see if that's true. Yes. So, and I want to thank Sam for this. Hello, Alice. You missed me giving you a heart and happy birthday wish again. So I want to thank OneFish26 Sam for trying to educate me and help me to learn this a little bit better. You guys still see me in Zoom right now. If I bring this back over here, I don't see me in Zoom. You guys see now the whole thing because this is the whole screen. So this is the studio mode. I can preview. Let's say I wanted to look at Daily DaVinci. I don't want to look at Daily DaVinci. I want to look at main Zoom. Well, there's my main Zoom. This is my nightly stream. And as you can see, this is previewed. And when I hit transition, then it should transition to over there. And you guys should see that and only that. It's a cool feature because now I can go into the studio right here, but you guys don't see it. I transition it, you can see it. Now you're seeing both the program and what I am. Hello, John Downey. Okay, in Doug Betts-ism light, I recognize the name John Downey. I'm not sure where I recognize it from, but I do recognize the name John Downey. And I'm not saying that to poke fun at Doug whatsoever. I actually do recognize his name. Not sure where, but thank you, John. If you like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. It does help out in the long run. So, anyway, back to OBS. I can transition. So I can come in here and I can turn Doug on. And you guys actually see it because I'm showing the DaVinci screen. This is my DaVinci screen that I use. If I go to another one, then you guys will, and I transition it, then you're only going to see on YouTube what is the active window to be streamed. Again, if I go back to, I'm going to go, Daily Da Vinci is still showing. So if I transition it back to show both the studio and, now you'll notice, oh, that's pretty good. It's not mirroring. I thought it would. So this is the studio version. Anything I do in here, if I bring that up, then you see it actually right now as well, because it's showing it over here. But if I had a different thing up, you wouldn't see it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But I can do this with anything I want. I can go in here and I can make changes. I can turn Doug off. And then, well, that's not Doug. I can turn Doug off. And I can turn the text back on. Then I transition this, and you see now on YouTube, no Doug. Transition it back. Let's say I want to make a change, but I don't want to see the world to see that. I'll bring Doug back. Click on Doug. Doug is back. Transition it back to being live, and Doug is back. And it puts that other one over there, which you can't see. This would be a great place to have a camera behind me focusing on the screen itself. Well, enough of that. It's been about 20 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and transition back over to here. I want to thank everyone for being here. Oh, I have an ad on Mrs. K's account. She's got another ad, and this is at roughly 20 minutes. I know this is the third set of 2 ads that have been showing. I'm monitoring it as well on my K-Stop2016 account. I'm the creator of that account. I should not get any ads. Makes sense. I'm also monitoring it on my K-Stout Zoom account. And I should get ads there because that's a total different account. And occasionally I do get what appears to be the starting of an account. I'm going to try one last thing and end the show with one last experimental thing here. I don't think I can do what I want to do. And I'll show you why. All right, so now you're looking at both the preview, which I see and can make changes, and the program is what's actually going out. I want to make a change to both the preview and another one. So I'm going to go into the main zoom over here on the preview. Now you normally would not see this. In fact, if I transition this back again, you're not going to see it. So this is good. I can make changes behind the scenes. I was in Doug chat on Monday. I wanted one travel power supply for my lab. Okay. All right. I knew I'd seen you before. I know I recognize you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I get it. See, the Doug special Doug edition thing actually worked. It worked. I'm going to go back and transition this. I've lost my train of thought. Imagine that. Okay, so Daily Da Vinci, you guys are not seeing it. I want to transition this back so that you see both. Because what I want to do is, and again, I attribute this to Sam, OneFish26, because I didn't know this. I want to bring my email right here from my main Zoom scene, and I want to put it into my other scene. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'll tell you how I used to do it. I used to go in there and recreate it, and that's just absolutely silly, not needed to be done. So now what I can do, I can go through my sources, which you can't see. Well, you can see, sort of, kind of, but it's real small. And I can find my email, and I believe I actually did label it as email. Yeah, I'll pop out email right here. If I turn that off, it'll, because of a transition that's on it, it'll do that. So now I want to, Windows training, live Windows training / not dog bets. English. I'm going to right click. We're going to copy it. We're going to go back over here to the new camera. We're going to go into sources. We're going to bring this box up just a little bit. Get into any area that's not got something in it. Right click. Paste reference. And then we're going to bring it up a little bit. Now that's going to look terrible. I'm not going to change it. That is going to absolutely look terrible because you can't see it. Now let's turn the sleeping off. We don't need sleeping on. So I'm going to turn sleeping off. But it didn't change it because, again, I have to this is something I need to get with Sam on. Now when I transition it back, the sleeping is gone. Now you'll notice the email's down here, but it's really, really difficult to see. Now I can get out of studio mode, then I can go into email, then I can go into select color, and I can change the color. Let's just go with, this is just going to be for demonstrative purposes only. Change it to that, and that now stands out against the water background. It's just that simple. I used to have to really go in and recreate it, which ran into problems. This is so much simpler. You can't see the red box around it. I can. If I lock this down with the lock, the red box goes away, and that cannot be moved. That's stuck there and will not move. I'm going to wrap it up. I am now at 25 minutes. There's not going to be any overtime. I do want to thank everyone, and I do mean everyone. Darren, Rick, John, Alice, John Williams. I have 2 Johns now. I've noticed on my other stream I have a couple. What's the worst thing you could do to a computer you just built? What's the worst thing I can do to the computer that I just built? Well, John, that's a good question. I got through a BIOS update. I think Darren might have actually left. I got through a BIOS update last night with the Zoom homies' help. That was my worst fear. The worst thing I can do is overload it with stuff like I did with the old computer. OBS, Destiny 2, Fairlight, Fortnite, whatever. I could put too much stuff on it, and I've defeated the purpose of building a computer. The new computer's primary and only purpose will be, as best I can keep it, DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Resolve. That is it. I do know that I do need a graphics card. I have experimented by doing a project on the old machine, doing the same project on the new machine, rendering them out, and there's a considerable amount of difference between when the old machine and new machine build it or render it, because there's no graphics card on it yet. I'm going to go from the 8 gigabyte that's currently in the old machine all the way up to I believe 12 or 16, and I honestly don't remember. I'm going to go as high as what Sean or I can afford and not be out lavishly ridiculous. I don't need a 24 gigabyte graphics card. Let's put it that way. This is not as someone once asked me a while, as our good buddy and friend Ghetto Josh Kinder would say, a long time ago, a while back ago. I love most of his sayings. They crack me up. But a while back ago, going back years, I was asked, am I producing the next blockbuster video or blockbuster movie? And while in my mind I'd like to say, well, sure, I'm producing the next, I'm not. Let's face it, I'm not. I enjoy tinkering around. I enjoy what I do. I like most of what I do, and I like sharing most of what I do. So, blockbuster movie, no, you're never going to see me at any award show going, I'd like to thank the Academy and John Williams and Doug Betts and Ghetto, and you're never going to see that from me. Unless it's tongue-in-cheek. Build it using a hard disk drive as the installed device. No. Now, it's got a mechanical drive in it, 16 terabyte. That's my storage drive. And I don't think I'll ever fill it up. I did move everything to a 1 terabyte external drive to put back on the old machine because I found my theory was right, my process was wrong. I pulled the drive out, therefore DaVinci on the old machine and OBS and a couple other things no longer had the data available, so everything was missing. So very painstakingly, I transferred it back over using a flash drive in some cases, and that took a couple days. The 16 terabyte DaVinci data only, I'll never fill up. The 1 terabyte, it's almost full, believe it or not. So I got to look into that and maybe buy one more little drive for the old machine, but that's a very slim maybe. The Bronx 9, hello, the Bronx 9, good to see you again. I excuse me, I'm still fighting a little bit whatever I had last week, just a little bit of congestion, but I'm okay. And I want to thank everyone for their well wishes and their concerns last week when I was down and out. I do appreciate it. I just, words cannot explain and express how my feelings are on that. Lost my train of thought. Imagine that. Just like Doug. Whoa, this is more like, oh, I know what it was I was going to say. I realized my title of today's show is clickbait. Yes, I am using the Doug edition. I could have said special Doug Betts edition and really made it clickbait. And I do appreciate all, as Doug does, and I speaking for myself, and I cannot speak for Doug, but I do know he feels this way. I appreciate day in. What the hell happened to my email? Oh, it's on. I'll fix that later. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. It is 1 o'clock. This has been a good 30-minute live stream for today. I will see everyone tonight at 10 o'clock for the normal Ken Stout Live with the Zoom homies. The Zoom homies with Ken Stout Live. Yes, I'll put the plug in for, if you want to join us on the Zoom panel, there's the address, kstout-zoom Z00M at gmail.com. I will get back to you. Oh, wait, you know what I just noticed? Oh, wait. Let me change it to this one. It did. Okay. I just learned something. I'll have to see if Sam knew this. I changed the color of the one that I transferred over here on the new machine. It also changed the color over here. Oh, look, it looks like Doug is with us, but he's not. Doug is just turned on right here in OBS. I'll turn it on. Darren is still here. Let's see if he's actually with us. Hello, Darren. Are you still here, my friend?
Yes, I am.
There we go. Well, thank you for participating somewhat. Well, actually, thank you for allowing me to shrink you down and mute your microphone. So I do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support you give to the channel. I appreciate all the things you send me for my computer and movies and TV shows and everything else. So I am going to wrap it up. Believe it or not. I want to thank everybody with the generic thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Darren. I'm finding the Doug button now. Oh, I got another ad. Let's see. This is new chicken fingers. This is 1 of 2. And it looks like it's going to be about 5 seconds in length. That looks real like Zaxby's ad. Now, how does the internet know that Mrs. K and I have gone to Zaxby's? I don't think I've ever looked up Zaxby's at all. Ever. I'm telling you, people are listening. If there's little white men standing at my door and little white men in white, however that goes. Goodbye, everybody. See you tonight.